This year, it's mine. It's mine this year, boys.
Best team, it's obvious. It's your boy, Drewski. And worst team, there's a couple guys that could draft a stinker, Court and Jesse. I think Jesse sucks at fantasy football too, so.
I think Drew's going to have the worst team, and I think I'm going to have the best team.
I for sure got us in the bag. I'm not worried about the people's champ, Nick Marsh. Trash.
I think Nick's going to have the worst draft because he's a loser.
I gotta show you how terrible these guys are. I'm gonna show you how shit everyone is.
That's really bad. Terrible. That sucks. It's great.
I'm coming for first place and nothing else.
What's up, everyone? The fantasy football season just wrapped up. I got all the boys back to come on for this special video to show you guys how our season went and what place everybody finished in our league. We're going to start off from the worst team to the best team. That's the order. So 10th place goes first, down to the champion of our league. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Peace. Right. We're here with Court Dog. Court, you had the 5th pick overall. You went Jamar Chase, but you trade him after week 3. What was the decision to trade Jamar Chase so early?
The decision was kind of early on. He kind of struggled a little bit. Then he got it going. I think week 5, he ended up having like a great game for like 30 points. I was like, okay, right now is where I trade him, try to get some depth and some pieces around my offense and make my team overall better.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my decision for that.
So, Court, all the comments said you had the worst team. And you were saying you had the best team. Did you, honest to God, think you had the best team? Or a good team?
I mean, honestly, if you don't have confidence in your team, then why are you even playing?
Right.
So I don't know about maybe the best team, but I thought my team was decent enough to contend.
If you're in the league next year, are you going to do more research?
Well, this was my first league since 2015. And I'm very knowledgeable about football, but yes, I definitely need to do a little bit more research, study up. Also, feel like a lot of injuries piled on and kind of slowed me down a little bit. One of my biggest gripes with this season was the decision to draft 2 quarterbacks.
No, he's picking Josh Allen. He's trying to take Jalen Hurts too.
He's going to be like Marsh, right? On the draft, so who wants to trade?
He's setting up for trades in the future.
Yeah, he is.
Listen, if we do 3, then 30 out of the 32 quarterbacks. I haven't went back to trading and now I know. 2 quarterbacks.
Oh my god.
Last year in the league.
Oh, it's not like we tried telling you not to do that.
But honestly, when I look back at it, I would have traded Jalen Hurts
Over Lamar.
I should have not traded Lamar.
Yeah.
Next year, come back stronger. Hopefully, in contention. Never know what can happen. New year, new me.
Hey, I like that. So, Court, we're deciding on your punishment for finishing last place. Are you nervous at all for it?
A little bit, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's nothing too crazy. But we'll see.
All right, buddy. Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. All right, we're here with Jesse, the 2nd pick overall. You went Tyreek Hill. Disappointing. Then you went with Marvin Harrison, who many consider the biggest bust of the season.
I want to call it the biggest bust. I think he finished at wide receiver 30, which isn't good for a 2nd round pick as well as hoping. But yeah, they were probably the downfall of my team. Tua going out. We had the midget thrown to Marvin. And, they had a couple good games. I should have probably sold them while they were high. I didn't make any trades, until the end of the season. That's probably why I didn't get last, is because those trades I made at the end of the season were the reason my team actually, performed better. Anthony Richardson was probably the worst pick. I'll never be picking him
Ooh,
again
yeah.
in all of NFL history. I hope.
5th round pick, right?
Yeah, he was taken. I had a lot of hope for him, and he quit on his team. He quit on me, so I hope he never sees the field again. But yeah, a lot of bad things this year. Fortunately, I didn't get last. There's only one winner, 9 losers. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. We're all in the same boat. Besides, the winner. We're not going to name who it was.
I wonder who that was.
We're not going to name who it was.
Draft day, you thought you had the best team.
I did. I had a lot of people who thought my team was up there.
Yeah.
It just this year was probably one of the worst that we've seen for injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even. Yeah, I say Tua probably hurt Tyreek the most. He'll never see my team again. I don't care if I have the 10th pick and he falls. He won't be on my team. There's a lot of players that I'm looking forward to next year. I hope they come to me just so I can pass on them. Just so I can prove a point.
So my next question is, Marsh and Timmy, they hated each other's guts. Do you ever see that friendship back?
I don't know. I think it's just a lot of trash talk. Timmy's not good, Marsh isn't good, and I think it was just at the end of the season they weren't. They knew they weren't going to win, so they tried to just take it out. I think once the offseason goes through a little bit, and they both realize they both suck, they'll kind of simmer down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Will you be back next year?
We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you, Jesse, for your time. We're here with the 4th pick. Old man, Mike. You went Breece Hall and Kyren Williams. A lot of people left comments saying you had the best team. Well, you finished 5-9.
Yeah.
Tied for 7th place. What went wrong?
I'll tell you what went wrong here. When I look back at my draft, after my first 2 picks, I went 4 receivers. My 4 receivers were Devontae Adams, who had a really slow start. I had Deebo Samuel, who was straight crap. Jalen Waddle, who was straight crap. None of these guys I could have played. Neighbors had a big start of the season, then he fell out. So I really think my roster hurt by not getting the right receivers. So that's where the makeup of my team was really hurt. I just couldn't count on any of them. They just didn't perform.
Gotcha. Some people call you the Peyton Manning of this league. You always have the best record in the regular season. You have yet to win this league. Is it possible, or are you just cursed in this league?
Yeah, I think I'm cursed in this league. You're right. I do have pretty much been pretty good at drafting teams, had good teams most of the time, but it seems like when I get into the playoffs with the best record, somehow they fall apart. So, yeah, if you want to call me the Peyton Manning, I guess.
So there's some speculations. The end is getting close here. Can you comment on that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been doing this for about 25 years. I've had all kinds of seasons. A lot of winning seasons, a lot of losing seasons, and it's just such a changeover now. I'm getting more into these best ball drafts where I don't have to sit there and fudge around with my lineups anymore. It makes it a lot easier on me. Plus, you young guys, the whippersnappers, are just doing all these trades and pulling all this stuff off during the season. I don't know. It's really leaning towards hanging it up.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for coming.
Appreciate it. It was a fun season, nevertheless, even though my team took a dump right in the middle of the field.
All right. We're here with Marsh. Marsh, you had the 1st pick overall. You went CMC. Very, very disappointing.
I mean, I had to take him. He won me my championship last year. There's no other way to go there. I mean, if he's healthy, it's a guaranteed pick there.
Mm-hmm.
It was unfortunate how the season ended up turning out for him. Came back for 2 weeks, didn't do anything in those 2 weeks, and then got hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that kind of threw my whole season away there alone. Yeah. Somehow I did worse, almost as bad as the guy that drafted Jawan Jennings in the 4th round. But yeah, after the first couple of weeks, I was just losing hope slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, last year I started 5-5, I think. Pretty sure 0-5,
0-5.
and I won the championship. So
yeah.
I still had hope a little bit, but
yes,
the CMC pick definitely kind of killed my season alone.
Is the 1st pick cursed?
It might be. I mean,
the last 5 first overall picks have all busted. They've all gotten hurt. Yeah, they haven't like produced a top in their
And you
position.
see, when we pulled the numbers for this draft pick order, as soon as I got the 1, everybody was like, "Oh, of course," or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I want middle of the round. I don't want to have to choose the first person on the board."
Mm-hmm.
And then plus waiting all the way to the next round is just, yeah. Hopefully I get mid round next year.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's over again.
I've been asking everyone in the league, can you and Timmy be friends again? What's your stance on that?
I don't know. I'm not going to count that as a rival either. I just don't like all the smack talk, man. I as much as he wants to say it, I did not start anything. He just kind of keeps going with it, and then I have to say something smart because that's how I am,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just ignites his flame even more, and then he just keeps going, and yeah, it kind of became unbearable. We'll talk about it in the future. I don't know. It's kind of a tough thing to talk about right now.
Fair, touchy.
Yeah.
All right, there's rumors swirling around that you don't want to be commissioner anymore. Care to comment?
Taking that day by day. It's been really hard the past couple of years to keep it together. We're going to see how it goes over the next couple months, and we'll see. Might have a new commissioner again, taking it back over. Who knows? But
Interesting.
we'll address that later.
Marsh, thank you again. All right, I'm here with Ryan, the 8th pick. You went Garrett Wilson over Jay Jettis. You know, you got a lot of slack for doing that. What was the reason why you picked Garrett Wilson?
Everybody knows, I think, well, at least in our league, that once a Browns fan, now a Jets fan, so it goes from one heartbreak to another. But it's a little biased, but with Sam Darnold, you don't really know what you're going to get. So I'm like, do I take Jay Jettis and pray that Sam Darnold has a breakout year like he did, and probably did earn himself that contract, hopefully. But yeah, I thought maybe with Aaron Rodgers coming back and him being as good as he was, because dude sucks now and he's on a list. But
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, still had a good season, but it wasn't what I expected out of a first-round pick. So it is what it is.
Are you still sleeping with the Derrick Henry bed sheets?
Always. You got to keep them clean. now that the Jets aren't in the playoffs, we're gonna pray on that Derrick Henry Super Bowl, hopefully, and maybe I'll get a little blow up doll of Derrick Henry.
Next question: can Marsh and Timmy be friends again?
I think it's just a front. I mean, the champ thinking you're gonna come out and do something. Like I said in the draft interview, I thought Marsh was gonna have a terrible team. Did he finish the worst record? No, but he did in the playoffs, and that's. In my heart, that's all that matters, and I was right. But I don't know. Timmy gets his little cockiness going after he gets a couple wins in him, and his team was hot. And I seen the wrath of it when he bodied me, and Derrick Henry was still sleeping on his bed sheets because he didn't show up that week that he played him. I'm pretty sure, but it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, Timmy and Marsh will be a happy, loving couple. It's a win. Or a love-hate relationship they got. Love each other outside of fantasy, hate each other during. So,
all right. 2 questions left. 1, do you have extra motivation now that you're a father that you want to bring the belt home so you can see?
Yeah, I do, but I know that this is a tough league for sure. I mean, talking to the Tom Brady of fantasy football, I mean, I think since I've been here, he's won 2 or 3 championships.
4 times now.
Oh, my bad. 4. Don't let me disrespect the GOAT here. But I got 1. But hopefully, get my name engraved on that belt one day will be a goal.
So you're a lock for next year in the league.
I'm about plus 500, I think, in the betting odds. So it is what it is. You better put it down as Derrick Henry first round. That's all I can tell you.
Ryan, thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, buddy. We're here with Willie B. Willie, welcome. You had the 10th pick overall. You went Saquon and Jahmyr Gibbs. They finished as RB1 and RB3. Did you expect that?
I mean, I kind of expected a big season from Saquon because you got the change of scenery. He's going to a team that, is going to do better than the Giants. So I expected a big year from him. Jahmyr Gibbs, you're always worried when you're drafting a quarterback that's a part of a two-headed monster system, but I mean, they were the best two-headed monster in football, so
No doubt.
it was nice all season having that production from the running back room. I would say I definitely expected it more from Saquon than Jahmyr, but it ended up working out for me.
Did you love your team after a draft, or are you like, my team's decent, or my team might suck? There's a lot of comments that said you had a top tier team.
I loved my team after the draft. Obviously, we fell a little short in the postseason, but I mean, throughout the season, for the most part, we were in the run the entire season. Yeah. We had a couple losses that were heartbreaking. We had a loss to Tony by less than a point, and it was a game where Saquon had a drop, which you don't see much from him. So, he catches that pass. We're one win richer, but I was proud of the boys all season long, and I was really happy with the squad I put together in the draft.
So I've been asking all the friends, Marsh and Timmy. They were beefing the whole season. Do you think they could become friends again?
In the off season,
Yeah.
In the off season, we might see some love, but once this starts back up, I think we're gonna have a fun group chat.
Oh, absolutely.
The fun starts once week 1 starts, and actually once draft day starts. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think the tripping is gonna be nonstop. So we might see some tripping in the off season too. I'm not gonna lie. Then we got that runner up spot, so he has a little room to talk because Marsh didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
So it's fun. It's all in fun.
No doubt. So will you be back next year?
100%.
100%.
As long as we stick to the ESPN app,
Yeah.
I'm back.
Willie, thank you again for coming on.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Of course. And we're back. We're with Anthony. Anthony, how are we doing?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. So, Anthony, you had the 9th pick in the draft. You went A.J. Brown. How did you feel about your team?
My team coming into the season, I was confident. I ended up throwing away A.J. Brown to Jesse only because I needed to get some running back because my running back core was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And that was due to some of the picks I made earlier in the draft. But for how I finished, I think I did pretty good, honestly. And this isn't to my own horn. I think I was probably the best managerial mind in the league. For what I had and how I finished, I think that was pretty good.
So the comments section, they put a lot of comments out there, and they said you had the second worst team. Is there anything you would like to say to the YouTube community?
Before I say who had the worst team vote?
Court.
Court? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, everyone has an opinion, you feel me? But players got to play, and I'm just got to be that player. But second worst, finishing in the top half of the league, we got to trust me here. I'm like the Mike Tomlin this thing. Right? You know what I mean? We can get to the playoffs, but not actually execute in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff like that.
Love it. So my next question is, the biggest beef in the league was Timmy and Marsh. Do you think they could ever be friends again after this year?
I hope so, because it's only fantasy, but Marsh came in with a heavy head. Obviously, he had the belt on, so I get it.
Yeah.
But and Tim obviously just likes to run that mouth whenever anybody says anything about Josh Allen, he takes it personal. So they start off with Josh Allen, and then it transpired into something even more personal, which I didn't think was that big of a deal. But those two, I hope they can bond it, because I mean we're going to be friends all after this. But for Marsh to talk all that shit, but also the finish, was he second to last or third to last?
There was a 3-way tied for second to last,
and he was one of them.
He was one of them.
To say all that stuff and then Tim to finish second, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta shut that mouth now.
My next question is there anything you could go back and change? Would you change picking Justin Tucker in the 6th round?
Honestly, no, because Justin Tucker, for the half of the season, he was putting up like 12, 13 points for me every game. So for everyone talking that shit, look at the kickers around the league. I think there was one other kicker that was doing that, and I don't even think I got a chance to play him, because by the time I played the person I thought who had him, he was on a bye week. I don't hate on the pick.
Yeah.
Like I said, for how I picked and how I finished, not too bad.
Yeah. So do you want to be back next year?
Absolutely. I'm coming for that belt.
You're coming for the belt? You're
for
trying
that
to take
belt.
it off my waist.
I'm not trying to. I will.
Okay.
Like I say, for a first-time league manager in this league. Thank you for letting me come.
Absolutely.
This was a fantastic time. But you understand that. Imagine if I chose a little bit differently, how it could have went.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Well, Anthony, thank you.
I'm boss.
All right, we got my boy Thoja here. Thoj, you had the 3rd pick overall. How were you feeling about your team during the draft and post-draft when it was complete?
So during the draft, I was very confident. Like, I thought I was picking the guys with the most value at my pick. And, post draft, I was super confident. I thought I was going to win it all. Really, everybody kept saying your team, Will's team, Jesse's team had the best team, but I was just keeping quiet. I was like, man, I feel like I got the best, or like top 3 at least.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting to the semis, which was a banger, man. That was
a banger.
freaking insane.
So that leads to my next question. You make it to the semis. You're up 50 points with CD Lamb left, and you're going up against Justin Jefferson and Devon Achane. How confident were you?
I was confident, but the players you had are, amazing players. So you even texted me. You were like, it's over. And I was like, dude, you got Achane and Jefferson. Those dudes are amazing. They could catch up for sure. And, Jefferson got the 1 touchdown, and I think you were winning by like 12 at that point. I was like, I got CD. I'm still feeling pretty confident. And, I'm sitting there playing cards with my family, and I look up, and the Dolphins got the ball at the 50 with like a minute left or something like that. And then Achane, dagger to the heart, 50-yard touchdown. Couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, well, it's over. And then, CD, he had a good game, but like he had hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, he
and
got hurt.
I think before halftime, and I was like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna play much in the second half, and that's what
he was cooking.
He was too.
He had me nervous for a second.
I was starting to get geeked. I was getting geeked up, especially after the long catch he had, and then he almost scored a touchdown. He got stopped at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn. But,
so do you still have nightmares of Devon Achane?
Oh, yeah, I do. I think about it regularly, honestly. But it's fuel for next year, though, for sure.
So the semifinal between you and me, that matchup was way closer than the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel you had the second best team?
Yeah, I do, ultimately, because like I had guys on my bench that were putting up like 15, 20 points, so I could have slid anybody in there. Like the championship, if I would have made it, I would have blown Timmy out, because I looked back and all my bench players, like Lad McConkey had like 30, a couple other guys had like 15. I was like, man, what could have been?
Yeah, great team.
Yeah,
buddy.
Thank you, buddy. You too, obviously.
Coach, thanks for coming, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we're back with Timmy, the boy. How are we doing, Timmy?
I'm good. I'm feeling good.
So, Timmy, you had the 6th pick. You picked Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes.
What was your thoughts about your team after the draft? Were you confident in your team?
I was wide receiver heavy, and based on last year, I was really confident.
Yeah.
This year was a running back year.
It was.
It was. But going so heavy, I knew I had some trading leverage with a lot of good bench players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You actually picked up Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Who won a lot of people championships.
Yes.
So.
Well, didn't win this one. But it was still a wicked pick.
It was.
Great trade.
So we got to go back to the draft day when I had all the boys talk about who was going to have the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
You said me.
Did I?
You said I
thought I said you and Tony.
Yeah, me and Tony.
Okay, cool.
And he said Justin Jefferson would be a bust.
Tim, I think Drew's going to have the worst team, and I think I'm going to have the best team. Looking at the draft board, it's not looking too hot for Drew. JJ is going to get hurt in the first week. Thank you.
So how does it feel? How does it feel that you lost to both of them?
I picked up Justin Jefferson in my dad's league for him, so I was just talking out my ass.
You're just talking out your ass?
It is tough. I'm glad I lost to you. I wouldn't want to lose. I will never lose to Marsh, because Marsh fucking sucks. I don't want to lose to Tony or Jesse. Maybe Ryan. But losing to you is a fair loss, because you're like the fantasy legend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So my next question is, do you just wake up and think, how can I piss Marsh off today?
Every day. Every day I look in that group chat, I'm like, what could I do to make Marsh's day worse? And usually it's just bringing up the fact that I'm in the championship and he wasn't. Oh, wait, he didn't make the playoffs. Usually that works. That gets him going.
Mm-hmm. So do you think you and Marsh could rekindle your friendship after the beef?
I just want him to say he's sorry. That's all I want. And he gets mad about my name. I thought my name was a good name. But I offered to take the name down. I just want you to say sorry. And then I said, I'll say sorry too. And we can rekindle. He didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Ball's in your court, Marsh. As soon as you say you're sorry, I'll say I'm sorry. We can hug and kiss.
If Josh Allen wins MVP, or are you getting MVP edition bed sheets?
Dude, I'll get MVP edition underwear. Are you kidding me? I will have a Josh Allen outfit for every day of the week.
Mm-hmm. You think
That's the real MVP.
You think so?
I know so. If Lamar Jackson won last year, Josh Allen's stats were better. The supporting cast thing, okay, that's fair. They did better in the regular season. That's also fair. Okay, he won last year. But now that the roles are reversed completely, Lamar has better stats, but now Josh Allen has less of a supporting cast, and his record's better.
Right.
We can't switch up the narrative now.
Timmy, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I mean, everybody and their mother knew who was going to win it this year, but I just had to show you guys. I mean, I told you guys from the start I was going to win this before the draft even started. I told you Court and Jesse were going to have the 2 worst teams. They had the 2 worst teams. I mean, just look at my first 6 picks. I mean, hit, home run. Bijan first with the 7th pick. RB2. Jay Jettis at 14. The steal of the century. Devon Achane in the 3rd round. High potential. He proved me right. Travis Kelce kind of sucked, but he was tight end 4 in the championship. He scored 20 points for me. He came up huge. DJ Moore, not really that great. Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins. We had kickers drafted before T. Higgins and Cooper Kupp. David Montgomery before he got hurt. Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback for the Broncos. I picked him up. Jared Goff was my other quarterback. Team was stacked. The best team by far. No trades, no nothing. I didn't need to trade. Feels great to be back. I'm excited for next year. You know, last time I won, I went 3 straight years. Could this be another 3-peat? Could this be another Michael Jordan dynasty? Could this be Roman Reigns? I wear this belt for 1,300 days. Stay tuned for the 2025 fantasy football season. I want to thank all my boys for coming on. Love y'all. It was a great season. Can't wait for next year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down what was the biggest surprise to you guys. Love to hear from you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.